Good evening, YouTubers. It's Ben here from Southeast Queensland Storms, back with you for another Southeast Queensland weather update. And your weather update starts now. Good evening, YouTubers and Southeast Queenslanders. Welcome to another Southeast Queensland weather update coming to you on this cool and cloudy Friday, the 9th of August 2024. And a very good evening to you wherever you are tuning into tonight's weather update. And it has been a while since we've done a weather update here on YouTube for Southeast Queensland, but that's because there really hasn't been any weather of significance to talk about over the past couple of weeks. However, that looks like it's about to change, and we finally do have some weather to talk about and cover here for Southeast Queensland, hence our weather update tonight. So we have current forecast modelling is projecting some wet weather on the way for Southeast Queensland over the coming days, in particular as we move through late Sunday, through Monday and Tuesday into early Wednesday of next week. And the weather we're going to be talking about is the potential for some moderate to heavy rainfall across the Southeast Queensland region. But I'll have all the details for you coming up very shortly. But before we begin, just a reminder, if you like the content that you see on our YouTube channel, then please click that subscribe button and give this video a like. And if you take a look at the top and bottom of your video screen, you'll see our social media details on the other major social media platforms, being X, Instagram and Facebook. So if you're on the major social media platforms, make sure you subscribe or give us a like. That way you have all the latest weather information for Southeast Queensland at your fingertips across a variety of social media platforms. Alright, with that said, let's jump into your weather update for tonight, and we firstly will start by just taking a look at the current situation. So we'll start with current satellite and radar imagery. This is taking a look at southeastern Australia and looking out towards the Tasman Sea. Now the reason that we want to focus on this area firstly is that along the southeast Queensland coast, extending from Maryborough down through Fraser Island into Gympie, the Sunshine Coast, down towards Brisbane and the Gold Coast, we have some isolated shower activity occurring in that southeast Queensland coastal area. Now the reason we're seeing that is because we have a high pressure system down here in the Tasman Sea, and this large high pressure system is directing a southeasterly wind flow up towards the southeast Queensland coast, hence why we're seeing that isolated shower activity occurring this evening. So we are expecting that this isolated shower activity to persist or continue across the next 48 hours, again due to that high pressure system down here in the Tasman and that moist southeasterly flow that it's generating, triggering that isolated shower activity along the southeast Queensland coast. And if we take a look at the current radar, we can see some showers with light little bursts of moderate rainfall currently occurring between the Tewantin and Coolum Beach area. As we go down towards the Brisbane Bay Islands, towards Stratty and Moreton Island, there's a couple of little isolated showers just off the coast there. And just a little bit further up to the north in the Wide Bay Burnett district across Fraser Island there, Tin Can Bay up to Harvey Bay. Again, we've got isolated showers with light rainfall in the green and a little bit of bursts of moderate rainfall in the darker yellow orange colouring just there. As the further inland you go, the shower activity decreases, but you can see the black wind stream lines here depicting that moist southeasterly flow from that high pressure system down here in the Tasman, and that's what we're seeing, those isolated coastal shower activity for southeast Queensland. We are expecting that activity to continue over the next 48 hours. All right, let's take a look at current temperatures. As I said, it's a little bit cool outside. We'll start up in the Wide Bay Burnett district. We've got 18 degrees at Bundaberg, it's 17 at Harvey Bay, also 17 at Maryborough. It's also 17 degrees out at Gayndah. Down to Tin Can Bay, we've got between 16 and 19 degrees. It's also 16 degrees at Gympie and 15 at Kingaroy. Coming further south down towards the sunny coast, 19 at Tewantin. It's 17 at Maroochydore, 19 at Coolum Beach. Further south, down into Woodford, a little bit cooler at 15 degrees there at Woodford. Caboolture sitting on 18, Moreton Island 19, it's 18 at Deception Bay, also 18 degrees respectively at the Brisbane Airport. 16 in Brisbane, CBD, Brisbane Metro area, out to the Bayside, 17 at Victoria Point. And out towards Ipswich, sitting on 15 degrees. It's a little cooler, 14 degrees at Laidley, 16 around Bow Desert, and then we have Oxenford down towards Surface Paradise, anywhere between 14 to 18 degrees. We head out to the Darling Downs Granite Belt, temperature dropping out there at Stanthorpe on the Granite Belt at 9 degrees, 17 at Inglewood, 12 degrees at Gundawindi, 14 at Warwick, heading up to Toowoomba, it's 12 to 13 degrees there, 13 degrees at Oakey, 15 at Dalby, 16 at Chinchilla, and lastly 14 degrees at Miles. Heading over to the official state forecast issued by the Bureau of Meteorology at 4:30 this afternoon. Let's see what the professionals at the Bureau of Meteorology are talking about. And in their official state forecast that they issued, they're talking about a high pressure system in the Tasman Sea, which extends a ridge and a moist onshore flow across much of eastern Queensland at the moment. And that's why we're seeing that shower activity that we saw on the satellite and radar imagery. So the bomb spot on there. We also see a weak trough lying over the interior of our state. An upper trough is likely to move across the state from late in the weekend and into early next week, and this may cause a surface trough to form near parts of the Queensland east coast, which is likely to enhance shower activity around parts of the east coast, in particular through central Queensland and southeastern Queensland areas. So the Bureau on board with some moderate to heavy rainfall on the way, and if we take a look as we move into, particularly through the Monday, the Tuesday, and into the early Wednesday parts, we can talk about the Bureau talking about on Monday, the 12th of August, scattered to widespread showers with possible moderate to heavy local, or moderate to locally heavy rainfall, and the chance of thunderstorm activity around the eastern districts south of Townsville down into central Queensland, but that weather is dependent on the development and movement of the coastal trough. We then start to see isolated to scattered showers around the southern, central and eastern districts. And then as we get into Tuesday, the scattered to widespread showers with possible moderate to local heavy rainfall persists and continues through coastal parts of central and southeastern Queensland, but again it's dependent on the development and movement of the coastal trough, and I'll explain this very shortly. Again, isolated to scattered shower activity continues through the southern, central and eastern districts. And it's a similar sort of story as we get into Wednesday. Now, something to take note of, the Bureau this afternoon did issue an initial flood watch for southeastern Queensland coastal catchment areas. And in this flood watch, the Bureau talks about, again, the coastal trough, which is expected to develop along the northern New South Wales and southern Queensland coast from this Sunday. As this trough deepens along the coast, in particular from Monday into Tuesday, we are likely to see some heavy rainfall increasing, and a low pressure system may also develop embedded in this trough system as we move into Tuesday. Now, the catchment areas are relatively dry at the moment due to the lack of rainfall. However, rainfall will increase around northern Queensland as we go through late Sunday this weekend, and then that heavier, moderate to heavier rainfall is likely to contract further into the areas to the south, including central and southeastern Queensland, with the rainfall intensifying from Monday into Tuesday. Heavy rainfall is forecast over the flood watch area from Monday right through to Wednesday morning. There is a significant amount of uncertainty, though, that the Bureau is talking about in the timing and location of the rainfall, although coastal and adjacent ranges areas are most likely to see the heaviest of the rainfall. Localised river level rises and flash flooding are likely within the areas of the heaviest rainfall, with isolated minor to moderate riverine flooding also possible. Due to the localised nature of the heavier falls at this stage, the Bureau unfortunately cannot be more specific about the areas at risk of the highest flood risk. Flooding may obviously result in disruptions to transport routes, road networks and the isolation of some communities. Now, the catchments impacted and the catchments affected by this watch include the Mary and the Noosa rivers, the Sunshine Coast rivers and creeks, both the Pine and Caboolture rivers, both the Brisbane and Lower Brisbane rivers, the Logan and the Albert rivers, and the Gold Coast rivers and creeks. And the Bureau will update this flood watch at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Saturday the 10th of August, with more information. So that's what the professionals are talking about at the Bureau of Meteorology. Now let's get in and take a look at some weather model data to see why we are looking at possibly getting this moderate to heavy rainfall here in southeast Queensland over the next couple of days. But before I do, just a reminder that the following forecast information I'm about to give you is reflective of an amateur storm chaser only and not that of a professional or qualified meteorologist. For all official forecast and warning information for Queensland, I urge you to visit the BOM at www.bom.gov.au/Queensland. Alrighty, let's jump into some forecast information. So what are we looking at firstly? What weather system or mechanics are involved to obviously trigger this rainfall? And why is it going to come to southeast Queensland? So firstly, what we're looking at is an upper level trough is expected to amplify or strengthen as it moves across eastern Australia over the coming days. So we're currently taking a look at the European model, and these are the wind shear charts at about 300 millibars, which is extremely high up into the atmosphere. And what we're looking here is these overarching streamlines here. You can see how they go down and they go over, over, over. So right here is our upper level trough that the Bureau of Meteorology is talking about. So we've got this upper level trough just here. It is expected to amplify and strengthen as it moves towards the east coast. Now, we also have another system in place. So as this upper level trough continues to move towards the east, We also have it likely to interact or work in conjunction with a surface trough. Now, the surface trough firstly looks to develop up around North Queensland, move offshore before contracting towards the south. And as this upper level system moves towards the east, the surface trough comes down towards the south. Both systems work together to trigger that moderate to heavy rainfall potential for central and southeastern Queensland. Now remember, upper level systems are quite weak on their own. They do need assistance or backup support from a surface levels feature as well, and that's what looks to be in place as we come over the next couple of days. An upper level trough working and a surface level trough working together to trigger that rainfall. Now, we're also likely to see an onshore flow which will deliver moisture into the trough system to trigger showers and rain. And obviously, the higher levels of moisture you have feeding into this trough system, the more intense and the heavier rainfall you are likely to see. And if we take a look at precipitable water anomaly chart, so this is a chart that's used to determine if moisture levels are below or above average. And as we can see, as we start rolling through the weekend into early next week, we can see those moisture values with the darker blues indicate those above average levels of moisture. So plenty of moisture for this trough system to tap into, hence the possibility of the moderate to heavy rainfall over the coming days. Plenty of moisture around for this system to access. And as we go out into Tuesday, just wait for the chart to refresh, we can see again across southeast Queensland we still have those above average levels of moisture. Again, plenty of moisture available for this upper level and surface level trough system to tap into. So again, that's why we're seeing the potential for moderate to heavy rainfall over the next couple of days. Now, we also do have some model guidance in relation to the development of a low pressure system, which may be embedded in the surface level trough component, and that low again looks to embed in the surface trough, with that surface trough expected to extend through from central Queensland into southeastern Queensland. Now, if the low pressure system does develop and embed in the surface trough, then it's the areas on the southern side of the system that will likely just see the heavier of the rainfall, and that's simply purely due to the clockwise nature and rotation of the low pressure system. Remember, in the southern hemisphere, low pressure systems rotate clockwise, high pressure systems rotate anti-clockwise. So if we have a low that embeds on this surface trough as this upper level feature comes across, then it's the areas on the southern side of that low pressure system that will see the heaviest of the rainfall. So that's a little bit of a breakdown in relation to the mechanics and what's behind. That's what's behind the system that's going to trigger this rainfall over the next couple of days. And if we take a look, and this is taking a look at the Bureau's model for rainfall, firstly along Monday, and we can really start to see as we get into Monday, the rainfall starts to ramp up. So you can see late Sunday as well along those coastal areas, anywhere from the sunny coast, Maroochydore, down through the Brisbane Bay Island, down to the islands, Moreton and Straddie, down to Brisbane, down the Gold Coast. We see the rainfall on Sunday start to develop, the heavier falls. Then as we get into Monday, you can see the reds and the dark oranges representing the higher rainfall, anywhere from 40, 60, 70, possibly up to 80 millimetres along the coast. And then as we move into Tuesday, we can still see those, as we get into Tuesday, we can see, lots of moderate to heavy rainfall moving in along the coast as we get into that Tuesday stretch. Okay, but in the meantime, the next 48 hours, as I spoke about, you can see the wind streamlines here, that southeasterly flow triggered by that high pressure system in the Tasman. Next 2 days, we're just expecting to see that isolated coastal shower activity continue, and the areas of blue that you see on your screen is light rainfall associated with that shower activity. So this is taking it through to Saturday, and then as we move into Sunday, you can still see the showers persisting along the coast as we get into Sunday, but again, it's as we get into Monday, we start to see things ramp up as this upper level trough begins to amplify and strengthen. As we can see, we now start to see some greens coming on with the rainfall, indicating the heavier rainfall. So this is early Monday morning, and then as we get into Monday afternoon, we can see the rainfall becoming a little bit more widespread, as well as we get through late into Monday. And then again, it's Monday night into Tuesday that we expect to see the peak of the rainfall. And as you can see, the greens and the yellows starting to appear as we get into Tuesday. And then as we go further up towards the north, we can see again possibly the development of that low pressure system Again, you can see the areas on the southern side of the system. If that low pressure system embeds in the surface trough, the areas on the southern side of the system is where the heaviest of the rainfall is. And this is Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. And again, we see that heavier rainfall starting to shift and contract towards the southern areas. Again, low pressure system remaining embedded in that surface trough, and then as we get into Wednesday, late Wednesday, we start to see the rain start to push off and move offshore as we get into late Wednesday. So a little bit of a breakdown there. If we take a look in terms of AI modelling, this is the ACE European version of AI weather modelling. Again, this is Monday, 10 a.m. We can start to see the AI models really picking up on the moderate to heavy rainfall, shifting right through from central Queensland down into southeastern Queensland. That's into Monday, and if we drag it out to Tuesday, similar story. All that rainfall persisting as we go through into Tuesday, and then into Wednesday. Again, you can see the rainfall beginning to shift and contract offshore as we get into late Wednesday. It's a similar story on the Fushi model as well. Again, Monday, 10 a.m, we can see widespread rainfall across the central and southeastern coastal areas of Queensland. And that continues right through Monday into Tuesday, again before the heavier rainfall contracting further south as we move through Tuesday, and then by into early Wednesday, late Wednesday, we see the rainfall beginning to shift off and clear the southeast Queensland coast. And GraphCast, which is Google's version of AI modelling, we'll just bring that out to Monday. See, GraphCast has a similar story to the Fushi and the AFES model, again with widespread moderate to heavy rainfall along the central southeast Queensland coastal areas, continuing through Tuesday, moving towards the south as we move through the later parts of Tuesday into early Wednesday, and then by late Wednesday, the rain moving offshore. Okay, so some rainfall totals. You may be asking, well, how much rainfall can we really expect? And we've got some Met graphs to go through here. So just a reminder with the Met graphs and the accumulated rainfall projections or forecast data. Firstly, I just want to point out these are not 100% accurate. They're a guide only. Okay, they're just a guide only to give us a ballpark of how much rainfall we can expect. Again, please note that the attached rainfall totals are not amounts accumulated in one day, but they're accumulated over the course of today, Friday the 9th of August, right through until next Thursday the 15th. So that's a period of 6 days, not just one day. This is total rainfall over the period of the next 6 days. And again, remember, they're not 100% accurate. They're a guide only. But the first thing that we can see as we go through these Met graphs is that current model data appears that the major forecast models are beginning to come into agreement on the potential rainfall totals, and you'll see that as we go through these Met graphs. So this is firstly taking a look up around the Gympie area over the next 6 days. As you can see, the light blue indicates the average total rainfall, and the yellow is the Bureau of Meteorology's forecast model, the G3, the Access G3, and then obviously the dark blue is what the BOM is saying as well. And as we can see there, rainfall anywhere sitting up just under 100, possibly up to 115 millimetres. So you can see the average here as we roll it out through to, we'll bring it down here to Wednesday the 14th, so we can see the average 68 millimetres, the Access G3 going for 55 millimetres, whereas the Bureau model going for just over 80 millimetres. Then as we go through, we can see that extends right out till Friday the 16th of August. But from that Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday period that we're looking at, anywhere from possibly 60 to 80 up to 100 millimetres possible for Gympie. If we come further down towards Brisbane, and I'll just bring up all the models just here, see if it'll do it for us. There we go. So this is taking a look at the average, the Bureau's model, the GFS, the G3, the European model, and the AFIS, which is AFES, which is the European AI version of modelling. That's out till Monday, the 12th of August. So as you can see on Monday, rainfall really starts to ramp up as we go through that late Sunday into Monday period, where we can see the rainfall increasing anywhere from the 5 mils, possibly up to around the 25 mils. We'll see if we can get it out till Thursday. And there it is just there for Brisbane. We can see anywhere possibly from 80, 100 up to 120 millimetres for the Brisbane area over the next 6 days, taking that out right through till Thursday. So you can see all the models, really good agreement there in terms of the models. The only one that's a bit more heavier on the totals is the GFS. But if we look at the Euro, the AIFS AI modelling, the Access and the BOM models, they're all in pretty much good agreement of anywhere between 80 to 100 mils for the Brisbane area. If we take a look at the Sunshine Coast, we'll do the same sort of thing here. That's through till Monday, so again late Sunday you can see the rainfall really starting to ramp up for the sunny coast as we get into the Monday period. We'll see if we've got it out till Thursday. We'll do all the models. No, it's not going to do it. Here we go. Now we're also taking a look at again the average rainfall expected, the BOM, the Access G3G, GFS, Euro and the AIFS model. Again you can see very good model agreement. The Access model, just a little bit more on the heavier side for the sunny coast rainfall, possibly exceeding 140 mils, but you can see the other models all very good agreement around the 110, 120 millimetre mark, possibly for the sunny coast over the next 6 days. As we go down towards the Gold Coast and Bow Desert, towards the scenic rim, we will get all the model data here, and we can see Access G, Access G, very, very aggressive with the rainfall totals for the next 6 days, possibly over 200 millimetres. That could be a little bit far-fetched based on what the other models are seeing. You can see other model very good agreement between 50 to just over 100 millimetres, possibly for the Gold Coast scenic rim areas. But this, yeah, the G3 model here over 200 is a bit far-fetched, and it's a little bit too aggressive than compared to the other modelling. So. And this is Bow Desert itself out towards the scenic rim, so that's towards the Gold Coast. And if we go towards Bow Desert, we will bring up the models here, and we can see Bow Desert scenic rim again. European model a little bit conservative, just under 40 millimetres across, under the 40 millimetres as we go across the next couple of days, whereas the other models anywhere from 60 up to 80, possibly the AI version AIFS going for just under 100 millimetres, or just over 80 millimetres, sorry, but again, model agreement between 60 to 80 millimetres possibly expected over the next 6 days over the scenic rim. But the trend that you can see is that as we go through the end of Sunday, through Monday into Tuesday, into Wednesday, we can see that 2-day period, Monday into Tuesday, this is where the rain really begins to intensify and ramp up. That's the scenic rim. This is the Gold Coast. Again, Monday to Tuesday, you can see the rainfall totals rising. The intensity of the rainfall increases. It's the same for the Sunshine Coast, Monday into Tuesday. It's the same for Brisbane, Monday into Tuesday, and the same up on Gympie as well. Just bring that up. There we go. Monday into Tuesday, we can see the rainfall totals increase. So, yeah, the Monday to Tuesday is the period to watch, and we will see how it plays out. So, basically, that summarises our little forecast video for tonight. So, for this point in time, just be prepared for some wet weather here in southeast Queensland as we go across the next couple of days, in particular as we move into that Monday, Tuesday, early morning Wednesday stretch. That's when we're likely to see the rainfall intensify, again with the possibility of some moderate to heavy rainfall expected. But as always, I'll have further updates here for you on YouTube over the coming days, so you don't miss out on any information. Just a reminder, if you like this video and you like the content you're seeing, click that subscribe button and give this video a like. But with that said, that's going to conclude tonight's video update. I'll be back again either tomorrow or Sunday with another video update for you. But in the meantime, enjoy your Friday night and have a fantastic weekend. And as always, remain weather aware and weather prepared. And I'll see you on the next video.